So be honest with me. Do you find yourself with a little extra time on your hands right now? Because if you do, you've honestly landed in exactly the right place. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to take that extra time of yours and use it to absolutely master some of the most common, real-world English time expressions. Whether you're actively learning the language or you just kind of love the weird little quirks of English phrasing, these are the idioms you're going to hear literally every single day.
Okay, let's jump right into it. Mastering expressions with time. Now, instead of just running through a boring list, we're grouping these phrases into specific, everyday themes so they actually stick in your brain. We'll break down the definitions, look at some great examples, and then, we are going to put you to the ultimate test at the end to make sure you've really got it down.
Section 1. Speed and urgency. Racing against the clock.
Right, so when you're rushing, when absolutely every single second counts, these are the expressions you're going to want to reach for. Let's dive into our first one, in the nick of time. The source defines this as happening at the last possible moment. It's high stakes, it's dramatic, it is that absolute split second right before it's too late to do anything. When you use this phrase, you're basically telling a story about a very narrow escape.
Take a look at this sentence from our source material. She jumped out of the way of the car in the nick of time. You can practically see that mini scene unfolding right in your mind, can't you? It's a vivid near miss. I mean, 1 second later and it would have been a total disaster. And that's the real power of saying in the nick of time instead of just, she moved quickly. It adds instant drama to whatever you're saying.
Next up, we've got a slightly less stressful but equally speedy phrase, and that is in no time. This expression just means very quickly. It's the absolute perfect phrase to pull out when something happens almost instantly, or, when you want to show someone just how incredibly efficient you are at getting something done.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how you might reassure your boss or a coworker. Give me the project. I'll have it finished in no time. You're confidently telling them, hey, don't worry, I am so fast that it's literally going to feel like zero time has passed before this is sitting right back on your desk.
Now contrast the sheer anxiety of rushing around with in the nick of time on one hand to the beautiful, calm relief of relaxing on the other. Take your time. That means do not rush. Take your time. We're not in any hurry here. Doesn't that just feel better to hear? So let's intentionally slow our own pace down right now, take a deep breath, and smoothly transition into our next theme.
Because sometimes you aren't rushing at all. In fact, you're just waiting around and you desperately need some sort of distraction. That brings us to the phrase kill time, which our source defines as doing something specifically to make time pass quickly. You've got empty time on your hands and you just need to fill it.
Here's a perfect example of that. I looked in the bookshop to kill time while I waited for the train. I want you to connect this to your own life for a second. Think about waiting for the bus or just sitting in a dentist's waiting room. Whether you're scrolling on your phone, grabbing a quick coffee, or browsing a shop, you're killing time until your actual event finally starts.
And hey, speaking of not rushing, we have time off. This is defined simply as time not at work. It's the essential everyday expression for describing a break from all your professional duties. It is your vacation, your weekend, your personal days. It's the whole shebang, all bundled up into 2 little words.
How much time off do you get at your new job? It's a super standard casual question, but honestly, an incredibly important one. Think about your own work-life balance for a minute. We all absolutely need that time off to recharge our batteries, right?
Section 2. Eras and experiences, past, present, and fun.
Okay, we are moving away from the literal ticking clock now. We're focusing on how we use the word time to describe generations, history, and the big moments in our lives. First up in this bucket is being behind the times, which means old-fashioned. We use this for people, places, or ways of doing things that just haven't caught up to the modern era. They're basically stuck in the past.
I always love this example from the text. The office is really behind the times. They have a fax machine. I mean, seriously, if you walk into an office today and you hear the dial-up screech of a literal fax machine, you definitely say they're behind the times. It paints such a funny, instantly recognizable picture of a workplace that just flat out refused to update its tech.
Conversely, we have the phrase before your time, and this means before you were alive or before you were living or working in a specific place. It's actually a great, polite little phrase for identifying when a historical event or a cultural touchstone precedes your birth.
Here's how that looks in practice. The Beatles, that's before my time. So the crucial point here is that pop culture is usually what anchors this expression.
When older generations start talking about classic TV shows, legendary bands, or global events that happened decades ago, you can just smile and say, sorry, that's before my time.
Let's wrap up this vocabulary section on a really high note. The time of your life simply means having a really great time. But honestly, it's way more than just a good time. It's the ultimate peak experience. We're talking unforgettable joy here.
Our source text gives the example, she had the time of her life on holiday. I want you to think about that for a second. Try to actively recall your absolute favorite vacation memory right now. Who were you with? What were you doing? That feeling of pure joy and relaxation, that right there is having the time of your life.
Section 3. The Ultimate Time Test.
All right, let's amp up the energy and gamify this. We've gone through the expressions, but passive listening just isn't going to cut it if you really want to learn. We are going to adapt the review section from our source material right now to actively test what you've picked up. Here is your first challenge. He got to the airport in the blank of time and ran onto the plane. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to lock in your answer at home. 1, 2, 3.
And the answer is Nick. He got to the airport in the nick of time. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how clearly it brings us right back to our earlier speed and urgency theme. That visual of someone frantically sprinting onto a plane, it perfectly captures the high-stakes, last-minute panic we were just talking about.
Okay, let's try one more to really solidify this. I suppose that TV show is blank your time. You're too young to have seen it. What do you think? Go ahead, take a guess out loud. 1, 2, 3.
Well, if you said before, you absolutely nailed it. I suppose that TV show is before your time. Congratulations on locking in these foundational English concepts. You have officially mastered these phrases, and you are totally ready to use them out in the real world.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. Ask yourself this. Are you just killing time today, or are you having the time of your life? Get out there, start actively using your new vocabulary in your daily conversations, and make every single second count. I'll catch you next time.